Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. For a lot of fans, Jason and Britt's brief but intense romance was one of those lightning in a bottle storylines that General Hospital got absolutely right. Their connection came out of some classic GH storytelling. Fugitives on the run, danger everywhere, and stolen kisses that evolved into something more. But as quickly as their relationship began, it all came crashing down. Literally, Jason died in a tunnel collapse. Later, Britt died fighting the hook. And the story that might have been was suddenly over. Or so everyone thought. Now that they're both back from the dead, the stage is set for a reunion. Only this time, it's not instant fireworks. It's a slow burn. Jason and Britt's first romance was short but unforgettable. Born out of danger, fugitives on the run, and an emotional bond that hooked fans fast. Their story was cut short twice by tragedy. First, when Jason was presumed dead in a tunnel collapse, and later when Britt was believed to have died fighting the hook. Jason's discovery that Britt was alive and being held in Croatia set the stage for a second chance. But things aren't the same this time around. Britt has returned colder and more guarded, with secrets tied to her mysterious work at the Five Poppies lab. Their connection hasn't vanished, but rebuilding trust will take time. Exactly the kind of messy, layered storytelling GH does best. Jason, Steve Burton, and Britt's Kelly Thiebaud. Original love story was messy in all the best ways. He risked his life to save her from Cyrus, Jeff Kober, henchmen, and their escape sent them on the run. Their relationship deepened when they hid out at a Canadian lighthouse, and she let him in on her most vulnerable side, including the truth about her genetic Huntington's marker. They fell for each other fast, only to have loyalty, mob wars, and tragedy tear them apart. Jason had to let her go so he could enter into a marriage that was a business arrangement. Sonny, Maurice Bernard, was presumed dead, and Carly, Laura Wright, took over his organization, so as a show of strength, they agreed to get married. That was over before it started when Sonny turned up alive just after they said, "I do." But it was too late, the damage had been done. Fast forward to after Jason's death, when Britt was believed to have been poisoned while battling the hook to save Jocelyn's, Eden McCoy, life. But after his own resurrection, he realized Britt was alive. He followed the clues and found her at the Five Poppies resort in Croatia, and managed to bring her back to Port Charles. But the woman he brought home isn't the same woman he fell for. She's colder, distant, and hiding something big. Britt's evasiveness seems tied to her time working in that Five Poppies lab, and whatever dangerous man was pulling her strings. Jason keeps trying to let her know that she's still important to him, but she's been keeping him at arm's length. With Britt keeping some major secrets, this isn't a fairy tale reunion. It's two broken people circling something they once had but can't fully touch yet. Their path forward won't be quick or easy, but the attraction is still there. Between Jason's own baggage and whatever Britt's hiding, maybe even involving Nathan's Ryan Peavy, own return from the dead, the machinations of Professor Dalton, Daniel Goddard, or a familiar villain like Jerry Jacks, Sebastian Roque, their next chapter looks complicated. But that's what makes it a slow burn. It may not happen overnight, but it's hard to shake the feeling it will happen. In the world of General Hospital, few stories captivate fans quite like a slow burn romance. And right now, no pairing seems to embody that delicious, simmering tension more than Jason Morvin and Britt Westbourne. Their story has all the makings of a classic soap opera saga. Longing glances, unresolved emotions, near misses, and the kind of chemistry that refuses to fade away no matter how many times fate tears them apart. While their reunion may not happen overnight, one thing is clear: it feels inevitable. For months now, the GH fan base has been buzzing about the subtle yet powerful undercurrent between Jason and Britt. Every scene between them carries weight, even when they're simply exchanging a few clipped words or sharing the same space in silence. There's history here. Heartbreak, sacrifice, and a connection that both of them tried to bury but never truly could. When Jason returned to Port Charles, his reunion with Britt wasn't an explosion of fireworks, but it didn't need to be. The intensity was written all over their faces, and the restraint only made it stronger. Back when Jason and Britt first crossed paths, their dynamic was unexpected. Britt, the so-called Britch, wasn't exactly the type fans imagined for Stone Cold. Yet somehow, their opposites attract chemistry hit in a way no one saw coming. Britt, fiery and outspoken, managed to break through Jason's walls, while Jason, stoic and loyal, grounded her chaos. It was a pairing that brought out new sides of both characters, humanizing them in ways that fans didn't expect. Their time together during Jason's fugitive storyline sealed their bond, making them one of the show's most emotionally charged duos in recent memory. And then, as GH often does, the writers pulled the rug out from under us. Britt's world crumbled with the reveal of her Huntington's diagnosis, and Jason's presumed death in Cassadine Island's cave ripped the heart out of their story before it could truly unfold. Britt moved on, or at least tried to, diving into her career, forming friendships with Austin and Brad, and even allowing herself to open up emotionally again. But there was always a shadow in her eyes whenever Jason's name came up. It wasn't just grief, it was unfinished business. Now that Jason is back in Port Charles, alive and breathing but burdened by secrets, things feel different. The man who once saved Britt's life is now hiding truths that could destroy her trust all over again. Still, the tension between them hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, it's stronger than ever because so much remains unsaid. Britt, despite her guarded nature, can't hide the flicker of emotion whenever Jason enters the room. Jason, in turn, may try to stay detached, but his loyalty and protective instincts toward Britt betray his feelings every single time. The slow burn between these two is what makes their story so compelling. Soap romances often thrive on drama, but Jason and Britt's connection is built on quiet intensity. Every pause, every sidelong glance, every word they don't say, it's all part of the dance. It's a love story that refuses to die, even when logic says it should. And while fans are eager for a reunion, it's the slow unfolding that gives it meaning. Britt isn't the same woman she was before Jason's disappearance, and Jason certainly isn't the same man he used to be. Time and trauma have reshaped them both, and that makes the prospect of a rekindled romance all the more fascinating. There's also an undeniable sense of fate at play. Britt's journey on General Hospital has always been about redemption, proving she's more than her past mistakes, more than her mother's influence, more than the Britch nickname she can't quite shake. Jason, meanwhile, has lived his entire life in shades of grey, torn between loyalty to the mob and his desire to protect those he loves. When their worlds collided, they found a rare kind of peace in each other. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. That's what fans remember, and that's what keeps them hoping. But of course, this is General Hospital. Nothing comes easy. Britt's secrets about James and Nathan still hang in the air, unresolved and threatening to surface at the worst possible time. Jason's involvement in those mysteries could either drive them closer together or shatter any chance at reconciliation. Yet even in the chaos, there's a sense that the writers are slowly steering them back toward each other. The beauty of a slow burn is that every obstacle only makes the final payoff that much sweeter. Some fans worry that Britt's lingering illness or Jason's dangerous lifestyle could make their reunion impossible. But if soap history has taught us anything, it's that love can find its way through even the darkest storylines. Britt has already defied expectations more than once. She survived heartbreak, betrayal, and a lifetime of bad luck. Jason has cheated death more times than anyone can count. If any couple can beat the odds, it's these two. Their resilience mirrors each other, and that's part of what makes their chemistry so believable. The question isn't if Jason and Britt will reunite, it's when and how. Will it be a moment of crisis that brings them together again? Will a shocking revelation about Nathan or James force Britt to lean on Jason for support? Or will it be something quieter? A stolen moment in the hospital, a heartfelt conversation, a look that says everything they've been trying not to admit. Whatever form it takes, fans are ready for it. Social media has been flooded with calls for the writers to give Jason and Britt another chance. Hashtags like #JabritForever and #SlowBurnSunday trend whenever they share screen time. Viewers appreciate that their relationship isn't rushed, it's earned. In a world where soap couples often come and go with whiplash speed, Britt and Jason's story feels grounded in genuine emotional development. They don't just fall into bed or into love, they grow into it, piece by piece. Even so, the slow burn can be frustrating. Fans who have been patiently waiting for their reunion can't help but wonder how much longer they'll have to wait. There's tension between hope and fear. Hope that the writers will deliver the emotional payoff this storyline deserves, and fear that it might once again end in tragedy. But sometimes, that uncertainty is what makes it so irresistible. Britt and Jason's relationship isn't about instant gratification. It's about rediscovery, forgiveness, and finding light after loss. If we look at General Hospital's storytelling pattern, there's reason to be optimistic. The show has a long history of reuniting couples after years of separation. Think of Sonny and Carly, Anna and Valentin, or even Laura and Kevin. When the writers invest in slow-building emotional arcs, the results are often unforgettable. And with Jason's current arc hinting at redemption and emotional reconnection, Britt could very well be the person who helps him reclaim the humanity he's been suppressing for years. The real question may not be whether Jason and Britt reunite romantically, but whether they can rebuild trust. Jason's world is filled with secrets, violence, and moral gray areas. Britt, despite her edge, has been trying to lead a life built on honesty and healing. Can she accept Jason's dark side? Can Jason open himself up enough to let her in completely? Those are the questions that make their story rich and layered. It's possible the writers are preparing fans for a long emotional road. Maybe Britt won't immediately forgive Jason for the secrets he's been keeping. Maybe Jason will keep his distance out of guilt or fear of hurting her again. But love on General Hospital has never been simple, and that's why it endures. The longer they circle each other, the more powerful that eventual collision will be. In the end, Slow Burn Sunday is more than just a fan catchphrase. It's the essence of what makes Jason and Britt's story resonate. Their love isn't flashy or loud. It's steady, stubborn, and alive beneath the surface. They're two broken people who found solace in each other once before. And no matter how much time passes, that connection remains unshakable. So, as the weeks unfold and secrets unravel, fans will keep watching for those little moments. The stolen looks, the half smiles, the lingering touches. Because even if their reunion isn't fast, it's already written in the stars. Britt and Jason may be walking their own paths for now, but sooner or later, those paths will cross again. And when they do, Port Charles will never be the same. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.